For sports fans, it's always often go big or go home, but going big can present challenges, of course, for those trying to eat healthfully, especially for the 28 million Americans managing type 2 diabetes. But with the right planning and the right attitude, everyone can win. Today, Mike Golic, radio host and former football star, is here to talk about how he manages his type 2 diabetes along with his own winning team, of course, his family doctor, Dr. John Anderson. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Such a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. Like I said, millions of Americans living with type 2 diabetes. And Mike, you were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. When were you diagnosed and what's it been like?
Well, it certainly is a lifestyle changer, no doubt about that. My father was diagnosed in his early 40s. So this was in like the 1970s. And he dealt with it by kind of keeping to himself and not really involving others, saying he wanted to deal with it by himself. Then I was diagnosed in my early 40s. I'm 54, so about 12 years ago, I was diagnosed, and I wanted to kind of bring everybody in to my situation. I played team sports all my life, so I wanted to get another head coach. I wanted teammates. I wanted everybody involved, and my doctor became my new head coach. He was the guy who gave me a game plan on how to deal with type 2 diabetes, from learning about it to then saying, okay, from the right medications to the proper eating to moving, and letting my family know all these things as well to get us all on the same page. So I'm going to deal with this for the rest of my life. So we all wanted to be on the same page on how we're going to go about each and every day.
Yeah, and that other head coach for you was your family doctor, as you said, Dr. Anderson. Doctor, what are those signs and symptoms that people need to be on the lookout for when it comes to diabetes?
Well, people with diabetes can present with several different symptoms: increased thirst, increased urination, fatigue, weight loss, blurred vision. What we really want to do is catch patients before they actually get diabetes. There are about 89 million people in the country who have what we call prediabetes, meaning their glucoses are not normal, but they're not quite to the threshold of diabetes. So it's really key to see your physician or your care provider for regular screenings, particularly if you have a family history like Mike did, or if you're of a certain ethnic population, such as African American, Hispanic, Latino, Asian Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, all have an increased risk for type 2 diabetes. And being overweight or maybe even obese also puts you at risk. So the key is to try to be proactive about your health.
Right, and you're talking about weight there, and you know, I've been following Mike there for years, and I'm looking at your Twitter here, Mike, and I know that a lot of people are tempting you with things like Girl Scout cookie cereal and lots of good stuff on social media. So is it hard to say no to that kind of stuff, or maybe Dr. Anderson, is it everything in moderation, or what's your approach to that?
Well, it is everything in moderation, isn't it?
Yeah,
it absolutely is. So while I get tempted by that, I do give in to that temptation every now and then. But that's on such a smaller level. For the most part, I'm eating what I need to be eating because I know this is a lifetime game plan. And I think that's, even with people who say that they want to diet just to diet and lose weight, just to give things up, I mean, makes you sometimes crave them more. So a little taste of that every now and then, as long as you're on the right path most of the time, I think is going to be fine. And that's something that my doctor did talk to me about. So it is about food. It's about exercise. It's about medications. I've been on Invokana for a while now, and that's one that works for me. You know, there's risk and benefits to every medicine, and that's why you need to talk to your doctor. What may work for one may not work for another. But you find out what works for you and works for your family. And now I have this platform, thanks to Janssen Pharmaceuticals, to be able to talk to people about this and say, don't deal with this by yourself. I have 3 kids. 2 are boys who are large football players. They're done playing football now, but the grandfather had type 2 diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes, so they need to know about this and live that lifestyle so they're not getting that diagnosis in years down the road.
Absolutely. It's all about staying that relationship close with your doctor, too, as you mentioned. And Dr. Anderson, is there anywhere we can go online to learn more about kind of working that relationship with our doctor, or any of the medications that Mike mentioned today?
There sure is. It's called icanimagine.com. It has Mike's story, and it has a recipe and some guide framework for which to have that conversation with your physician so that you can make it a productive office visit.
Thank you both so much, and we'll be certainly watching for you on Mike and Mike there. Mike, thanks so much for joining us today. And if you want more on what they talked about, head online to our website, fox4morningblend.com.